I'm going to show you how I create this little iris flower. I had a heck of a time trying to figure out how to draw an iris. Tiny, this size. So what I did is I started with, let me see if I can see this okay. I started with a cross, like this. So I knew that I was going to be looking at that things were going to be happening above this line and things are going to happen below this line. Then I decided that this angle, an X right here, would work for me to determine where these outer leaves go. But in the meantime, the center one had to also be decided. Now, I'm creating a shape here, not trying to duplicate a leaf. That's a big thing for you to hear. I can take it out here and just do it into an oval and still have the same success, but I'm wanting to also at the same time decide what actually is going to be the angle of this. And so I come down to a very narrow when I get here because I know I've got to glue all this together. This could even be a little bit larger if I choose to have it that way. But I'm creating a shape, not a petal. The same thing here. This is the quick draw that I did, trying to decide, did I have my shape right? I started this out noticing that I wanted to create this shape right here. I know that I was looking at the outside edges of everything that's up above it. So same thing here, just kind of what's the outside imaginary area I'm covering. And on this case, I didn't put this petal in there because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. If I wanted to show the stem, if I wanted to show the inside of it, what I wanted to do, but I can always duplicate this one, which I did. Number one, imagine this, you can erase that later. And then you want to imagine your cross. And then you want to imagine how you're going to address 3 units there and 3 units down here. So here's my X right here. Here's my imaginary horizon line. And I brought this down and I knew the leaf would get narrow as we came back up like this. And if I put the centerpiece in, it's got to have a larger dimension than these 2 pieces do. So I hope that helped you kind of see how I kind of came to this conclusion on how to create. I mean, this is a mini little guy. And God, she's so darn cute. I really like her. Okay, all right, now I'm going to go to the next step. I put it on a 3x5 card. And I accentuated this part right here because I know I'm going to have to put these all together. So I need a little bit of something to glue there. So here's my pattern pieces. 1, here's 2 and 6 right there. And here's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? And notice that I did make this a little bit shorter so that if I decide that I want to do this, it dips down like I want it to. And so that I don't do any damage to my cutting board, I have my pad for ironing down. I have placed a piece of Teflon down. I'm getting ready to use the Heat and Bond Ultra, which this is. And I want to make sure that any places where it's not covered by fabric, which is all around here, there's glue there and it's going to be hot and it would melt if I had cloth or anything else under here, but it will not melt to the Teflon piece. So now, because this is also a pretty lightweight fabric and I'm going to put my iron on hot cotton, I'm going to cover all of that with a Teflon sheet. You can see I have it on cotton. It's on dry. So I'm going to give that just a second to cool. And then I want to show you as I lift this over here. I'll put this up a little bit. This is going to stick. This is going to stick. And that is going to stick to the Teflon. Fortunately, when I peel this away, I can scrape that off. This is the wrong side of the fabric. And this is peeling right off. It's pretty evident. You can see the difference between the shiny side and the non-shiny side. Now the next step to this is I'm going to fold this in half because the whole thing I want is the Heat and Bond to be bonding front and back of my fabric. Going to heat set it. If I missed any places where there is, see the shiny part? That's glue, and it has stuck itself to the Teflon sheet. But that's all right, because again, I can see it, I can feel it. Let's see, where is it? Right here. And I just scrape that off. Make sure you clean these Teflon sheets off. I did the same process with the lighter violet satin fabric. So now I have the dark and the light. These are the pattern pieces I'm going to use on this one, and these are the pattern pieces I'm going to use on this one. I'm going to just cut them out directly. Because I have this bonded on both sides, I don't have to worry about my fabric fraying. So now what I'm going to do is show you how I cut these out. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go just inside the line. It doesn't have to be exact because this is going to be manipulated with heat, and it's going to change its shape. So again, I'm not trying to think of a petal, I'm thinking of a shape. And I give it a little bit of a tail right where I'm starting, because I have to have a place where all of these come together in the center and, and create, all the petals come together and create one little section. Here's the flower so you can see it completed. And there's the dark ones. This one, these two, here and here. Same thing for the purple ones. And then these are the little skinny dark ones that are the fillers. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to cut those out. All the pieces have been cut out now, and they're just kind of laying together so you can see here's the bottom part, here's the top part, and these are the fillers in between. Our next step is we're going to heat each of these and curve them just the way we want them. Once we've done that, we're going to just put them all together with glue, hot glue, and we should be ready to go to the next level so that I can end up putting this beautiful iris on the vessel. I create the shape of these by using this little iron that I have here. I'm going to show you how just being able to create these little creases in here is all you need to do. So we have 3 units. We have the little skinny guys here in dark purple, then we have the light purple, and then we have the larger 3 petals with the dark purple. This is what I want you to try first. Here is just a test piece. This is a hot iron. And what I'm going to do is manipulate this, twist, 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 twist. Now it has a shape that's going to stay like this because of the heat and bond. We're going to want to curve this little petal. So if I took again another piece, let's say this is going to be a petal, I want to curl it. Depending on how much I want. That's going to be a tight curl. And you might want to use tweezers here to hold on to this. The first thing I'm going to do is the easy ones, which is these dark 4 pieces in the center. And I'm just going to get it warm, pick it up, and do a gentle curve. Okay, now I know where my thumb is. That's where it's going to be anchored. So I know I'm going to want to curl this up a little more. So I'm going to run the iron on it again, and I'm going to curl it a little more in the position that I'm pretty sure it's going to need. My thumb is where this is going to land. Don't think about it, just do it. This is easier than what you'd think. You might be telling yourself, oh, I can't do that because you've never done it before. I hope you can get rid of that by just saying, you know what have I got to lose? I can try it. And it will, your first one may look terrific, it may not look terrific. It doesn't matter. At least you did the first one, and then you know the feel of how this is supposed to look. All right, so I'm going to start with this outside petal. And all I'm going to do is put the hot iron right here to kind of have an imaginary line, and then I'm going to take the outside edge and heat it and twist. And do the same thing here, heat it and twist it. And then I'll see where I am. In fact, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do the stem first. I'm going to go to the outside. Pick it up, twist, 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 twist. Okay, I want to do it more. pick it up, twist, twist. Yeah, I like that better. See, all of a sudden I've got my petal form. Gonna do the same thing on this side. Again, you can use tweezers if you want to hold on to this. Anything so that you don't hurt yourself. Okay, twist, twist, twist. Now all I have to do is shape it the way I want it. I'm going to let this cool first. Now I'm going to go on to the next one. So I'm going to heat the outside petal area. Twist, twist, twist. Could do that better. Okay, let's go twist, 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 twist. Good twist, twist, and twist. Okay, now this one's ready to go. This is the center one. I'm going to do the same twisting here. So I'm going to do imaginary line. You don't have to do that. And just get this outside part of the petal warm enough so that I can manipulate it. Twist, 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 twist. And again, I don't really think about it that much because it just takes care of itself. If I just heat it, twist it a little bit. Now I have to be aware that this is going to curve, but this needs to be also flat enough so that I can rest all of them together in the back. See how it's got to curve right there? Shape that down. That will help. And how do I want to shape this? Well, let's just see. I think I want to give this a little stronger shape like that. There we go. So when I put them all together, I think that's going to look good together. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing up here. And then when I come back, I'll show you how we're going to put it together. Well, here it is put together. Everyone is a little bit different. This one's a little bit bigger than this guy. I still have to put the little yellow stuff in there. I'll do that. Now, I've got all kinds of options here, you guys. I can trim this down to fit this size if I want, or I can leave it this size. They're both beautiful the way they are. Just remember, if I cut anything back, I can't get it back. But I might want to trim this down a little bit at a time. So now I've got all those options. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here, just a little bit. And a pinch of the roving. And then just kind of lay it in the glue. And then I'll trim this down. And I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. A piece of roving. And twist it. Wet it. cut it. Put a little dab of glue down here. Rest that down in there. Rest, 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 rest. And a little bit right here. Remember, you can always take things off your art quilt, but trying to get some of this back on is not going to work. So I try to go in little bits and pieces. And I'm going to play with the top part. I think I'm going to cut those down like I said before, and then I'll come back and show you what I did. Well, here she is, all done. I decided that I would put a green feather, a big long green feather behind it to soften everything, and then a little soften on the bottom. Then on each side, there's an iris. On the opposite sides, I just want to keep it soft. So 2 tiny little feathers and a little decoration on the bottom. I think it turned out beautiful, and it's easy to do. Give yourself permission to make some mistakes, because the first one is a learning curve, the second one's a piece of cake. Enjoy. If you liked this video, I hope that you will subscribe. I thoroughly enjoyed making it for you, and I hope that you got something out of it. Also, when you subscribe, you really do help our channel a lot. It helps us to continue to bring to you the very best in art quilting techniques, designs, and artists. Thank you again for watching.